All right, so I've decided to start filming a better lit part of the death pile because those videos are a little too dark. So this is maybe 1% of the pile. This collection is absolutely massive. So these books have been under this tarp for maybe a decade or two at least, and I have no idea what's here. So I'm gonna start recording these first because the other videos, people are saying they're a bit dark, they're a bit hard to see. So I'm gonna start off with this section that has better lighting, and we'll go from there. So you guys are seeing these for the first time, as I am. So I have no idea what's here. It's got to be more than 1,000 boxes. This is not even 1%, and there's probably 200 boxes just here. So, all right. So, let's start off with this one. Today I'm gonna go without a tripod. Just gonna try to film this freestyle. So let's see. So once again, keep calm and carry on. This tea is called Calm the F Down. Maybe I'll make tea reviews. I like tea and espresso. All right, let's see what's here. All right, so we have Elizabeth Googe's The Gentian Hill. Some sort of old romance, historical romance stuff. We have Richard Wilson's 30-Day Wonder. That's like a vintage sci-fi thing. Let me clean the lens a little bit. All right, let's see what we got here. Mr. Hobbs' Vacation. Some sort of old movie with, is that Cary Grant? Who is that? Yeah, looks like it. Father of the Bride. Gay, splendid, and salty. That's what I like. All right. Les Liaisons des Gens. The Dangerous, what's that? How do you say it in English? They made a movie. It's like an epistolary novel. Love letters. Dennis the Menace to the core. Look at that. I used to watch Dennis the Menace as a kid. Dennis the Menace is a bad kid, but he's fun. All right, we got Hitchcock's Antisocial Register. Oh, look at that. We got Doc Savage. They Died Twice and The Screaming Man. You get 2 for 1 of Doc Savage. Doc Savage, for the amount of books there are of him, they got to make more movies or something. I think they were trying to make a movie. This book's got some damage. Well, it's just old Dryden poetry. I'm not down for that 1700s poetry stuff. All right, Confessions of Rock Groups, the Scandalous and Scoundrels of Rock and Roll. I'm sure that has quite a bunch of fun stuff inside. All right, what do we got here? We got the Mephisto Waltz, a diabolical spellbinder to rival Rosemary's Baby. All right. We got Margaret Mead, classic anthropologist, coming of age in Samoa. All right. What do we got here? We got Bob Hope, 5 Women I Love. That sounds like a friend of mine. All right. The Crooked Frame. Look at that vintage pulp, like detective murder mystery. What do we got here? I wish the camera would zoom in a little better. It's hard to, this isn't really focusing that well. Victim of the Crooked Frame. Let me see if I can move this to get it better. Or can I get it good? There we go, that looks a little better. All right, I Saw Blood on My Hands. All right, what do we got here? The Great Mouthpiece by Gene Fowler. All right, what do we got here? We got Tiger River, White Indians and Green Men, a great fantastic swashbuckler. All right. Sons of the Bear God. That looks awesome. An astrologer in far Byzantium had foretold it. The gladiator Prester John would win 3 kingdoms, and his name would outlive 100 centuries. Okay. Some more Doc Savage, 2 for 1. That's the same book. They Died Twice and The Screaming Man. All right. Horror 7 by Robert Bloch, author of Psycho. Oh, yeah. I just sold Psycho today. First edition. I did good on that book. All right. Alfred Hitchcock, Murders I Fell in Love With. All right. Everybody Loves a Parade. Even the genius. More Alfred Hitchcock Presents. More stories for late at night. All right. Shock 3. New Dimensions in Terror. Okay. Is There a Doctor in the Zoo by David Taylor. Carter Dixon. He's a classic author. My Late Wives. All right. Medical Sex Dictionary. Why do I have a feeling this is going to be good? Let's see. Function. I don't know. I have a feeling there's going to be some wild stuff in there, but I don't got time for that. All right. Enter Laughing. Here is a hilarious novel that is now a motion picture. Has anyone seen this movie? I haven't. All right. A Case for Cannon. Die Like a Man. All right. Is that how men die? Just hung up on a rope by a window? Maybe. All right. The Hand of Mary Constable by Paul Gallico, author of the Poseidon Adventure. That's what I like to do. I like to play chess with unicorns. That's what I'm into. I lost my unicorn chess partner a long time ago. Sad. The Irving Solution. A huge metropolis brought to its knees by 2 rats. 1 animal, 1 human. Man, I gotta get up on my reading. Another Alfred Hitchcock. More stories to stay awake by. All right. Let's see here. Blackbeard's Ghost. All right. Old, I guess, pirate stuff. Oh, look at that. The Abominable Snowman. Invisible Horizons. Factual and documented stories about the coffin that floated 2,000 miles to take a man home, the 2 spectral faces that were photographed, the incandescent monster of the South Atlantic, the dog that stood watch on the Phantom ship, the dead crew that sailed its ship through the Northwest Passage, the Bermuda Triangle where ships and planes vanished without a trace. Invisible Horizons. All right. The Signet Book of Movie Lists. Stunts. All right. What do we got here? The West Moors of Hollywood. All right. Probably a family. Sweet Smell of Success. Agatha Christie, and Then There Were None. Ellery Queen, another classic mystery author. The Glass Village. Shin Connors appears to be a peaceful little town, but under its calm surface, hatred seethes. Only a spark was needed to set off an explosion. All right. Bedtime Story. The riotous devil-may-care comedy that asks the searing question, can a beautiful American heiress find true love romping the Riviera with a couple of mad cop con men? All right. The Panic in Needle Park. That looks kind of heavy duty. Just an old heroin addiction kind of book. All right. The Last Enemy. I don't know. He's got the blonde, but he don't look too happy, so I don't know what's going on there. Bob and Carol and Ted and Alice. Ching, ching, chick, chick, wow, wow. Okay. All right. Deadly Honeymoon by Lawrence Block. All right. Lawrence Block wrote a lot of cool mystery stuff. The Black Rose. Check out this vintage cool cover. All right. Thomas Castaigne, The Black Rose. Thomas Castaigne wrote like a 6-part historical romance about the Plantagenets and all that. With Castaigne here. All right. The Singing Sands by Josephine Tay. Sudden Death in the Scottish Highlands. All right. What we got here? Dimensions Beyond the Unknown by John Macklin. All right. I think this is better, right? Good lighting, better than that darkness. You can appreciate the actual box while I'm looking through other stuff. How Did They Die? Volume 2. What finally sank President Grover Cleveland? How did they die? Look at that vintage sci-fi cover. Look at that. Time to Come. Alrighty, I'll leave it at that. The Andromeda Strain by Michael Crichton. Michael Crichton did Jurassic Park. All right, let's see what else we got here. James Stewart and Dear Bridget. There's so many of these old movies that I really have to see. Stars, Space, and UFOs, Believe It or Not by Ripley. All right, let's see. I like these little factoid. I used to love reading these factoid books and just learning these little facts. Feast on a diabetic diet. All right. Just because you're diabetic doesn't mean you can't feast. Jules Pfeiffer. I love this guy. This guy Jules Pfeiffer made some funny little like social commentary cartoons. He's got one I think called The Lonely Ones. Oh, that's Steigner. I don't know. But I like all these old little like social commentary cartoons. Newton and the Quasi-Apple. His name was Tarek in the primitive civilization of Yingmor. He alone fully recognized the danger from the rising power of the barbarian hordes. Okay. Jerry Lewis in person. I, the Machine by Paul Fairman. Penway lived in the most perfect civilization ever devised by man. What shattering revelation led him to attempt its destruction? Oh, here it is, the Poseidon Adventure. We saw the other book that said the guy wrote the Poseidon Adventure, and here's the Poseidon Adventure. All right, The Avenger, number 23, The Wilder Curse. Here we go. The Avenger, number 9. The Fabulous Rogues. Look at that. Judy Garland, a biography. Craps. I would love to like be a professional craps player. And how do you make your money? I made my money in crap. All right. World 42 Freaks. Oh, what? No bra, little memoirs. I don't know what's going on here, but the Playboy Press sounds funky. All right, The Enigma of the Unknown. They just don't, you go to Barnes and Nobles nowadays, and the books are just not this cool. Dangerous Visions 3. All right. Is that Harlan Ellison? No, it's Sturgeon, Zelazny, Spinrad. A lot of good authors in this one. The Mob in Show Business. Okay. I wish this camera would zoom in. There you go. The Mob in Show Business. An awesome cover. Jim Brown. All right. Another Josephine Tay. To Love and Be Wise. All right, we got some more Avengers here. The Avenger. Frosted to Death. All right. The Sorceress of Quar by Ted White. Let's see if we can get. That's an awesome cover. Oh, I saw this movie as a kid. War Games. Let's hope this never happens, but just. I think it's like a 1980s hacker kid who like starts a nuclear war. That can never happen. We can never hack our way into a nuclear war. Such a silly concept. All right. Such Stuff of Dreams Are Made Of. Look at this cover. It's so cool. I wish my camera... There we go. That's like the right distance. That's awesome. All right. More Book of Amazing Facts. All right. Let's learn an amazing fact. Let's see. Oh, these are long facts. Oh, my camera went off. All right. Here we go. Cows, Pigs, Wars, and Witches. The Riddle of Culture. The Jewish-Japanese Sex and Cookbook and How to Raise Wolves. That's a book that I need. That's exactly the book that I need. Celebrity Trivia, number 2. All right. Dangerous Visions, number 2. All right. Turning the Tables on Las Vegas. All right. Good luck on that one. Strange Superstitions and Magical Practices. The fascinating story of man's belief in mysterious customs, secret rites, and fantastic world of the occult. All right. Let's see what we got here. Stranger Than Life. Stranger Than Life. What's going on here? True accounts of startling events inexplicable to the sciences. All right. The World's Strangest Mysteries. A lot of cool stuff in this book. All right, this is a cool book. Very Special People. It's like a history of freaks. Very Special People. The history. We got the Tochi twins. 2 boys down, and they have 6 ribs. Tom Thumb, who weighed more than 1,000 pounds. Eli Bowen, born without legs, yet a superb acrobat. This is like some sort of history of this is like one of the more famous books on the history of sort of the old freak shows. Let me see if I could with one hand show you some pictures. This camera isn't zooming in too great, but you guys get the idea. Just old freak show stuff. Yeah, this is like a classic on like the old freak shows. Oliver Cromwell, the Delphi Calculus, a monster computer of almost unimaginable sophistication, and in 24 hours it will stop everything everywhere. AI. All right. The End by Burt Reynolds. Anybody seen this movie? I haven't. Oh, I've seen this movie, though. Dirty Harry. Look at that. Dirty Harry. Clint Eastwood. All right. Another Alfred Hitchcock. The Best of Friends. That's an awesome cover. Alfred Simax. City. Let's see what it's about. A high watermark in science fiction writing. All right. 9 Strange Stories. And we're going to leave it on a very dark note, but the last book in the box is Hitler's Ovens. All right. Well, as you can see, I got a lot of videos to record. I skipped a few days this week because I'm just starting out, but I'm really going to try to do 1 box a day. And like I said, keep calm and carry on.